That was not the right song. Oh well, never mind, you can have that anyway. So, alright folks, we're going to be at the second game right here between, well, in fact, the first game, but between Kas and TeamAcer.Nerchio. We need to disengage the cheese, I feel. Let's see what we can do about that. There we go. Jesus, so many casters in this game. I fear for the lag, honestly. I'm hoping it won't be a problem. Never mind. Okay, so it's going to be Kas versus Nerchio. This could... You know what could end up frickin' happening? Is that we could end up with yet another Nerchio versus Mana finals. Another one. We'll see how it goes. Anyway. Kas could take out Nerchio. It could happen. I'm just waiting for these guys to get set up. Be sorted out shortly. Alright, here we go. First match was going to be a Tal'Darim Alter LE between these two guys. And honestly, it's very, very possible that we could see Kas take out Nerchio. And it has been done. Kas is on fire lately. He's a really great player. But Nerchio is kind of scary, as you are well aware. So let's see how this ends up going here. It's great reading the chat because you guys are on stream delay, so obviously the chat's kind of behind what's really going on, so I'm just reading you guys crying about the Sonic song, and it's like, ha! I'm inflicting my childhood on you. Well, part of my childhood, more my teenage years, really. Alright, folks, here we go. It's my pleasure to bring you Empire.Kas. He is in the blue trunks. He is playing Terran to the southwest of this particular map, which is, of course, the Tal'Darim Alter versus his opponent, TeamAcer.Nerchio. He is in the red trunks playing Zerg to the northwest. Now, this is the Twitch.tv Invitationals brought to you by Twitch TV, Thermaltake Esports, and Playhem. Now, the question is what will end up happening between these two players. Still a best-of-3 format, even at this stage of the tournament. In fact, the tournament is basically best-of-3 until a best-of-7 finals. So, it's going to be over fairly rapidly. I believe this is going to be one of two of this set of round of 4s here. It's going to be Mana versus Tarson for the second series, which could very, very well end up having exactly the same thing going on with Nerchio against Mana. Yeah. How many times has that happened, and how many times has Nerchio bested Mana over and over again to the point where Mana absolutely does not want to fight him? But there you go. See how it turns out. Well, Nerchio, we're not going for anything as of yet. Going to go for hatch first. A logical thing to do, honestly. Nothing really wrong with that. And we could be seeing, in fact, it's very, very likely that we'll end up seeing CC first here from Kas as well. A little bit gutsy, but suitable on this map. And here we go. CC first from him on 15 supply. And using that to create a wall off, that's actually a very smart move. I don't think I've actually ever seen that done here before. No doubt it has happened before, but that's actually quite a cool way of preventing any kind of scouting information being taken out there. Admittedly, seeing the CC this early on will give you information in and of itself, but that blocks that off for a while. Blocks off, for instance, the fact that gas is coming down so early, and then there's the barracks to follow that one up as well. So, an interesting little decision there by Kas. Nice little trick. I'm liking it. In the meantime, what we see from Nerchio? Well, I mean, Nerchio's got some really powerful builds. Incredibly powerful. For the longest time, Nerchio was like the Zerg Wonder Kid in Europe before horrible things ended up happening. And by horrible things, I mean Stefano came onto the scene, at least in International. And he became probably the premier Zerg in the European scene. And Nerchio didn't so much fade, but Nerchio's been playing a lot of online stuff. I mean, Nerchio doesn't play all that many LANs. He has won one. He won Battle of Berlin, if I recall correctly. He did very well there. So he's certainly not just certainly a player that plays online only, but still. people do regard Stefano as a stronger player in that regard. Admittedly, I've spoken to Stefano, and Stefano himself regards Nerchio as an extremely strong player. I don't think Stefano would ever admit it, but he certainly has a lot of respect for Nerchio. He said that to me several times. Nerchio's build orders are usually very, very tight, and he's got exceptional game sense. That's the really scary thing. Doesn't matter what race he's playing against. His ZVZ is actually terrifying. Really good. Unbelievably good. Idra has fallen to that several times. He doesn't like it. Alright, well, let's see what's coming up from Kas. Got the reactor coming down right there. Interesting timing on the reactor. Potentially for Hellions, of course, but it's a little bit late for that, so I don't know if he's going to actually go with a lot of Hellions. Could be just be going for a Marine Hellion and then the Banshee again, which we've seen from Show on this map. And then potentially a transition through into tanks as well. See what he's going to do. Is this going to be a swap over? No, it will actually be a swap over, and it's going to be Red Flame Hellion. And the starport could be potentially for dropping. Red Flame Hellion drop on this map is pretty effective because you can very easily hop between the natural and the main. Dealing a lot of potential damage then. There's the expansion coming down. Nice and secure. Nerchio with... It's not actually even got an economic lead yet, simply because of the presence of these two orbital command centers, and Kas has been consistently building SCVs. He's gone 28 to 30, but he does have a mule advantage as well, so... Banshee's coming up here. So it will not be for a drop. It's going to be for Hellion Banshee, which is a fairly effective mix. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Easy enough to hold the front with Banshees and then harass around the back. Or in fact, hold the front with Hellions and harass around the back with Banshees. Cloak coming up for him as well, which is an interesting decision. Admittedly, Nerchio is not going for lair tech yet, so this is going to be advantageous for him. In the meantime, here come the Hellions. And some reasonable damage being done to Nerchio's economy. Kas with a good start here. Gets that one blocked. A little bit of missed micro. Could have done certainly better there. We'll assess the loss momentarily. Nerchio has split off just a little bit there. Gets another couple of Hellions in there, but missed micros again. Wow, Kas, what is Kas doing? Huh. Some interesting stuff, and it's actually let some Lings into the minimal line in the process as well, and revealed the Banshee tech. So that's not a good start, is it? Nerchio can get Lings in anywhere. I don't know how he manages it, but he can. So it's 8 workers to 8 killed now. That really shouldn't have happened. Kas should not have allowed that to happen, and honestly screwed up his engagement somewhat around here. Could have done a lot more than that, but he mismicroed while he was trying to deal with the Ling run by there, so bit of a slip up. Nicely executed there by Nerchio. Single Ling being an annoying little bastard over there. We're going to take out an SCV. Very nice indeed. Evolution Chamber's now up. Lair Tech is on its way as well, so I don't know how effective these Cloak Banshees are really going to be. Cloak was researched and completed, but because the tech was revealed, it's not going to do all that much. Nerchio's just so very good at getting information. He's absolutely fantastic at it. Gets some amazing Ling run-bys. Once again, gets another Ling run-by into the base, and that's enough to actually do some damage. No problem whatsoever. He's going to hold position right there to do significant damage to his opponent's economy. And a nice little move there by Kas using the mineral trick to actually get us around there. Minimizing the amount of damage done. Only 3 workers killed in that assault. Could have been a lot worse, but still his Banshees aren't exactly proving to be all that useful. In the meantime, no harassment's coming in onto Nerchio either, and he's able to get his lair up. Hasn't secured a in fact, never mind, he has secured a third. It's over here, of course. Spore Crawler coming down at the front as well to prevent any kind of nonsense. Now, let's see what Kas can actually do with these 3 Banshees. 3 Banshees is enough to kill a Spore Crawler. And if Nerchio sees that coming, then he'll put down a second. There you go. A couple of roaches are going to be annihilated. I have a feeling he's just sending them out there almost deliberately just to try and tank a little bit of damage before that comes in. 2 Spore Crawlers is enough, but those Spore Crawlers aren't... That Spore Crawler isn't going to be enough in time, but yeah, we'll see. With the Queen there, it's going to be a difficult engagement here for Kas, and there's now a Spore Crawler at the back as well, so there's really no benefit for him going in here. He'll have to go for the back of the base. There's way more opportunities here. He could actually pick off the Roach Warren there. Certainly a possibility, something to keep in mind. In the meantime, it's going to be roaches, roaches, roaches for Nerchio. It's a real shame he hasn't gone for the Roach Warren. He could actually stop that speed tech coming in. Having a look and seeing what he can see. 2 Queens up. Not enough to deal with 3 Banshees, especially not with Cloak. No Overseer up just yet, and there's the Cloak. Immediately morphing in an Overseer just as that Cloak goes off. Reaction times of Nerchio are absolutely absurd. Maybe gas mining denied, which is, of course, very valuable in and of itself. Just want to watch out. Doesn't want to get into detection range, of course. Is there transfuse energy? Well, it certainly isn't anymore. I can tell you that for a fact. Another queen moving in right there. And that's going to be taken out almost immediately. Kas with excellent micro control here. Keeps that one Banshee alive. Now looks for more opportunities here. But the problem is those Banshees have now been split in two. It's going to be pretty difficult to deal with. In the meantime, a Roach Assault on the front. And no repairs in that bunker either. That's not a good reaction. And, of course, those Marines caught out. And Nerchio Roach busts through the front. Takes the tank out as well. Now, Kas is going to have to hold on to this pretty damn effectively. Where the hell are those Banshees? Could actually be coming back right now. Still 3 Banshees, and Kas is actually claiming lag at the minute. Might be too many spectators in, actually. I mean, we did see the full 16 slots. In the meantime, trying to defend as much as he can. Needs to stop those links from getting in. And Nerchio's going to be able to crash his way through here. Another tank taken down. Yeah, Froden needs to get the hell out by the looks of it. Slowing down the game. Not liking that at all. And a lot of damage coming in on Kas here. Empire.Kas has paused the game. There's lag and slowdown and all sorts of stuff going on. This is very, very true. Frieden was slowing down the game. Alright, let's see how this goes. And this is an awkward time to pause. But here you go. More and more damage as Ling Wave after Ling Wave crashes down on Empire.Kas' defenses. Tank is now at least up, and the Banshee's back to reinforce. Now, funnily enough, the amount of damage that was done there was not all that significant. His SCV count is quite high. Another wave of drones comes in. Nerchio's still actually behind in that respect. But definitely a lot of damage done. 22 workers have been killed in total. Kas holds for the time being, though. Army supply count in favor of Kas. Still got those Banshees, and those Roaches won't really be able to answer that too much. Especially with the tanks backing that up as well. No siege tech as of yet. Armory coming up. Second factory. We're transitioning into... it's either going to be Marine tank or, of course, just pure mech play. Now, having to hold back those Banshees in a defensive posture. There's actually a third Banshee somewhere. I don't really know where. Can't find it on the map. Ah, there it is. 5 hit points. Really could use a bit of a fixer-upper. I'm thinking more is required than a mere plaster. Well, Nerchio will be able to deny this third for quite some time. Until his big rollout comes in. So by quite some time, I mean all of 5 seconds. What can I say? In a certain other dimension, that might be quite some time. But for Kas, not so much. Nerchio's going to have to get out of there. He really does not want to engage into that. And Kas is able to catch him out of position and do significant damage to that army here. Driving away an Overlord as well. That Overlord could end up dying. It's in the middle of nowhere at the minute. Big stim right there for Kas, trying to catch up to his opponent. Doesn't manage to do so just yet. And another pause here. So Kas is having some problems here with his mother, it would seem. No, one mum is not what it means. One moment he's having major lag issues. Yeah, it's very funny, McDuffs. Very funny. Alright, so we're just going to wait for this to clear up. In the meantime, a reminder, you are watching the Twitch TV Invitational, brought to you by Twitch TV. Thermal Take Esports. Sorry, I'm stretching this out as much as I can. And Playhem. Alright. Okay, hopefully everything is good. It's really unfortunate for Kas. Anyway, Kas has resumed the game, which means I can actually see the supply count. And Kas with a lead in that respect. He's going to be able to pick off quite a few Roaches as he moves through here. Nice little force coming in. Infesta's on the way. Roach Infesta. Good style, nothing wrong with that. Kas, interestingly enough, still no siege tech. I mean, that's still quite a lot of DPS that can be put through for tanks, but if you're going to do that, generally speaking, you want to go for Marauders. But here we go. Nice surround on Creep. A lot of damage coming in, but can he break it? Especially with that Banshee support in the back. The answer is no, he cannot. Not for the moment. And there's the quick pick up and go. Kas is going to start to get really aggressive. That Infestation pit could end up going down. That will be crucial. In the meantime, another engagement here, but Roach after Roach is falling. Kas doesn't have enough Marines. He needs to actually pick them up. I'm surprised that he doesn't do that. Denies the mining for the time being. Infestors are on the way, though. Pathogen Glands is available as well, so there's the cleanup coming in. Kas loses a lot of his army, but Nerchio loses even more in the process. Look at the size of the supply count, 133 to 86. Nerchio taking significant damage. Now the cleanup comes in. Infestation Pit is down. That's a lot of tech eliminated there. And these Banshees have proved to be extremely useful. 32 kills on that. Not just for harassment, ladies and gentlemen. Hell, I wish he brought in this third one. I think he's forgotten about it. So much damage has been done. Another Infester cut to pieces. Kas with an amazing engagement in the center here. There's the Fungal, though. Needs to watch out. Can he get out there in time? Another Cloak, and he stays alive. Wants to take out another Infester. That's risky. It's very risky. He knows it, and he deliberately positions that Banshee out of the way. Second Banshee will be grabbed. Might go down. Another Fungal to follow that one up. Nicely done. In the meantime, more harassment being done, but Nerchio holds on to it. The problem is the third has now been secured for Kas, and he's on 71 workers. 3 orbital commands as well, so that went pretty damn well for Kas. Counterattack could come in, but really, Nerchio's army's not big enough to do any significant damage here. Kas's production is ramping up really hard as well. You're looking at, wow, it's 9 production facilities in total there. You can see he actually tabs through them. That's 6 racks, 2 factories, and a starport. Second wave, it's on its way. My oh my, what a day. We've got siege tech available now as well. He is going to be engaging onto a massive amount of creep, so this is going to end up being pretty tricky. In the meantime, the legendary Nerchio Ling Run-By is on its way, and is going to deal significant damage because there's no defense there. Oh my, oh my. Well, you say goodbye to that mineral line. Kas needs to react to that immediately before he loses the entire damn thing. Pulling out of there, having lost half the mineral line in the process, and that command center under threat as well. In the meantime, Kas in a sieged-up position, but needs to respond to this. Marines now moving in to clean up the remainder of those forces. Some economic damage done. Workers killed is 22 to 31, in fact. It's a single tank now being deployed to prevent that from happening again, and it's going to have a slightly smaller army there for Kas, which would be a bit of a problem. Nerchio's starting to ramp up his supply, but he's nowhere near Kas's at the minute. Little drop out of sight here. Nerchio has no idea about it. And here it goes. Going to be able to assassinate several gas mining drones, more to the point. Shouldn't be able to kill too much more, but it's a good little drop, and he'll be able to get out of there with no losses. Nice pickup. Kas with some exceptional elegance here. In the meantime, this engagement will not go well for Nerchio, I feel. There's plenty of units, and Nerchio surely will not want to engage here. He spots it with that Overlord. That said, if he doesn't, then he's going to be in a lot of trouble. That's a big Fungal there. A lot of damage. If he repeats that, those Marines are actually going to go down so much, and wow! That could have gone so much better for Kas. He gets crushed. That should not have happened. Kas bunches up his Marine count, and everything gets multi-fungaled. Instantly, Kas drops a ton of supply. That could have and should have gone way better than it did, and Nerchio got a perfect engagement there. Absolutely stellar timing. Few Lings here and there, just keeping an eye on things, wanting to deny another base. That's now down, however. They'll get sandwiched if they're not careful. He knows it. He needs to get out. Still this Banshee is still here, and actually, it's going to end up being very useful. I wonder if Nerchio notices. Let's see. The Banshee is gonna... might end up denying that hatchery, actually. Yeah, it could very well do just that. Is that enough DPS? Yeah, it is. Eventually. It's going to take a while, but yeah, it can do it. In the meantime, Empire.Kas needs to get a good siege line up here and defend against this counterattack. Nerchio surging forward. Our base has now been denied. It is done, ladies and gentlemen. Kas sieges up, and I wouldn't want to go anywhere near that. That's all I can say, especially not without good Infester support, and he's only got 3, so nope, that's not going to be enough. But the creep spread for Nerchio is pretty scary. Should be able to secure another base on top of that, and he has done exactly that. This Banshee proves to be useful, regardless of the fact that I'm pretty sure Kas has completely forgotten he has it. 73 workers to 53. Kas continues with this economic advantage and has a fully secured 4th base as well. His upgrade count is ridiculous. Look at that. +3 vehicle weapon, +3 infantry, and +3 infantry weapon, all researching simultaneously. And a supply advantage. Here comes the deployment, and Nerchio needs to get the hell out of there, and he realizes that. Look at that. 13 tanks. Marine tank and medevac. A perfect composition here against Nerchio, as it seems, and my god, is that a gutsy expansion. I have a feeling that's not going to last all that long, but... of course, hiding in plain sight, perhaps the best option here. Nerchio just playing the delaying game. Doesn't want to be caught out of position. If that happens, he's going to be in a terrible... And once again, Kas ends up getting massively fungaled. Good lord, Kas throws his army away right here. Perfect fungal growth by Nerchio. Kas gets crushed in the center, and really, that was terrible, but there's another drop coming in, and that drone line is now being denied. However, there's enough lings there to easily shut that down. Good God. Nerchio's getting some amazing engagements, and Kas is just balking it up in the center. He's got to spread those Marines out. Those fungals are just too good from Nerchio. Melting his way through there. Another drop coming down here. Denying yet more mining, but a fungal catches it, and that's not going anywhere. Down goes the medevac, and down goes any hope for escape for those guys. Someone better call their families. In the meantime, the hidden expansion remains... No, it's been spotted. Another drop, easily shut down. Nerchio with excellent defense, and Kas is losing momentum rapidly. Even with these upgrades, it doesn't matter. Upgrades don't help against fungals. It's as simple as that. Not at all. Nerchio is regaining control of this game. Kas needs a good engagement. He's lost 2 already. He's thrown away 2 armies. He can't throw away a 3rd. If he does, he's going to lose. It's as simple as that. Kas still with the supply advantage here, but Nerchio with good positioning. Now moving to secure that. Once again, another cleanup. And that medevac's going down. And that is a problem right here for Kas. He can't do anything. It's fairly unbelievable, really. Marine tank is not going to work with a lot of infestors on the field. Nerchio's fungals are absolutely ridiculous. I like the decision not to go for Muta as well. While harassment could happen, there are just so many +3 Marines on the field. At least they're about to be. I wouldn't want to do that. Roach Infester is, and with Ling support, is fine against this composition. It works just fine, especially if Kas keeps bunching up those damn forces. Well, it's going to be a planetary fortress, but that's going to go down before it even ends up doing anything. There's the cancel and the lift to prevent that from happening, and he knows that's not going to happen, but needs a good engagement now. Spreads those Marines out this time. There we go. Color Infestors annihilated. Much, much better, but still a lot of Marines taken out with that fungal, and not enough medevacs in the air in order to deal with it. There's another stim and takes an Infestor out, no problem at all. I'm going to redeploy and take that 5th here. Nerchio's looking really, really nice. And once again, he's found the Banshee, folks. He remembers he has it, and this hatchery is going to get denied a 2nd time as a result of that one lone forgotten Banshee in the corner. There we go, hatchery, hatchery. Unless, of course, it lands a fungal, which is good. Yeah, the Infested Terrans, there's a cancellation nonetheless, and down it finally goes. The Lost Banshee denies 2 hatcheries and kills 9 units without Kas even realizing it. What can we say? Okay, Kas with another push. Must engage properly. He got to get a... Take the Xel'Naga, please take the Xel'Naga. Why does he not? Well, that's a bit of a problem. He doesn't know that his opponent's actually there and has now bypassed his entire defense. There's the scan going down. What does he decide to do? Because his forces have been split in 2. Defensive Planetary Fortress has been deployed. That's a lot of Lings that are about to die very, very rapidly here. However, the Roaches are trying to smash their way through there, and they'll be able to do so no problem whatsoever. Lings are still alive. In the meantime, here comes Kas's force. 4th base taken out. However, split down the center. Defenses have taken a lot of punishing, but look at that. Kas actually does have a 2nd planetary, and there's nothing he can do about that. Yeah, Nerchio realizes, oh yeah, you're playing defensively. A massive fungal! Good God! Kas, please, split your forces! You're giving me a heart attack. All of the Marines are dead again! Oh. Nerchio's behind in supply once again. Another engagement here. The fungal is good. It's very, very good. Infested Terran in the mix as well. Kas's army survives, but only just. And good God. This has come crazy play here from both of these guys. Kas continue to keep that mining up, and this is units lost. Look at how expensive a game this has been for both of these guys. Nerchio's still lagging behind in terms of supply. He has very little army left. Oh, a nice little burrow there. Like that an awful lot, just to try and save a few drones here and there. And a good attack with those Lings. Takes out 3 tanks. An exceptional trade. Kas is holding on to this, but the number of terrible engagements Kas has had in this game is absolutely insane. Honestly, I think he needs to bring ghosts in. There's so many infestors and nonsense going on. He needs to shut these down. He's lost so many units to fungal growth. It's absurd. Both these players still evenly matched, however. Mining has been prevented on this base. Overlord there just keeping an eye on things. He's mining from that base, although it's getting close to being mined out. So this is his main mining base at the moment. This base has been destroyed, had been for a while, in fact. And high-sec auto tracking and building armor coming up for that planetary fortress defense. Smart move there. I'm liking that an awful lot. I'm feeling that planetary fortresses for defense, just additionally, on top of what you've already got, is an excellent move. And once again, Empire.Kas has a maxed army. An Empire, TeamNerchio. What the hell am I talking about? It used to be an Empire. TeamAcer.Nerchio is at 120 supply. 118 now. Surely he cannot win an engagement of this size. Oh, no! Run right... Ah! God damn it, Kas! Why? Why? Oh, my God. That's a lot more Marines. But Kas don't have enough to hold up against this. But how many more fungals is Kas gonna run into? Nerchio finally GG's. Oh, my God. Ladies and gentlemen, a bugle solo to ensure that we remember the deaths of 5,000 Marines. Jesus. Fungal. How unpleasant. We're back with Game 2 very shortly, folks. Kas currently leads 1-0 in this best of 3 series. You're watching the Twitch TV Invitational, is brought to you by Playhem, Twitch TV, and Thermaltake Esports.